Kiddushin daf mem gimel. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the MinDaf. Just yesterday we had Yom Kippur. Have a gewaldige year. Rabbi say we're in the middle of a sugya of shluch shalom k'moisai. If I appoint a shliach, an agent, he just fits right in as if I did it. The Gemara says, typically speaking, I cannot send somebody to do an aver for me, but there are exceptions to the rule, and one of them is mi'ila that we said yesterday, and today we're talking about tvicha umechira, and that is if a person steals a sheep or an ox, and then he goes ahead after he steals it and he sells it or he shechs it, he's chayiv 4 or 5, depending if it's an ox, it's 5. If it's a sheep, he has to pay 4. And the halacha is that a person who sends a shliach, you shecht this ox for me, the shaychet doesn't have to pay, the ganav has to pay. Why? Because it's just like mechira. When you sell something, you need a party, 2 parties. You need a purchaser, you need a seller. So too by tvicha. But here's the concept of yesh shliach ledvar aver. Here is a case where I send a messenger and the sender has to pay. Shammai holds, and they say a lashon, and we have to explain it, that if a person sends somebody, he hires a hitman to kill somebody, the one that hires is chayiv. What does it mean chayiv? So one shot is, Shammai will hold that it's shnei ksuvim habayim ke'echad umelamdim. Typically speaking, when we have 2 psukim that say the same halacha, ein melamdim. But in this case, Shammai will hold like Rabbi Yehuda, that melamdim. We have mi'ila and tvicha, 2 psukim that say the same halacha, that yesh shliach l'dvar avera, and we learn to the rest of the Torah, yesh shliach l'dvar avera. The problem is that there's another pasuk by Shchutu Chutz that if you take a carbon, like a oila, chatos, instead of shechting in the Beis Hamikdash, you shecht it outside of the Beis Hamikdash, the sender is not chayiv. The guy that does it is chayiv. Why? Ein shliach l'dvar avera. So we have 2 psukim on this side, on the right side. We have 1 pasuk on the left side. Which one do we learn from? Well, Shammai won't learn from Shchutu Chutz because they don't darshan the word hu. Hahu. What do they do with hahu? They say that when 2 people shecht the same animal, they hold onto the same knife, and they shecht the animal outside of the Beis Hamikdash, they're potter. Also, they say that if it's a shoygig, oinus, or a mistake, potter. You could also explain what Shammai meant to say, is that, yes, when it comes to murder, the sender is chayiv. It's a special halacha by murder, because it says by David HaMelech, he sent Uri Achiti to the front lines, and Nosan HaNavi accused him of murder, even though he didn't murder, David HaMelech didn't murder, the Plishtim murdered him. You're the murder. According to Chachamim, David is not chayiv at all, because Uri Achiti was a morid b'malchus. He used the lashon of Adoni, not to the king. In front of the king, he said Adoni, my master, to somebody else. So for that alone, he's chayiv misa. So David HaMelech was potter for killing Uri Achiti. Another pshat is that Shammai meant that if you hire somebody to kill somebody else, you're chayiv. What does it mean chayiv? B'dei shomayim. So what does Hill say? Potter? Obviously not. Hill would say you're chayiv not for murder. You're chayiv for something else. You're chayiv for a gromata murder. Shammai says, no, when you get up to Shamayim, they're going to be dan you as if you're a real murderer. It's a real strong avera. The Gemara tells us, even if you say that according to Shammai, yesh shliach l'dvar avera, that if somebody sends a messenger to do an agent to do something, it goes back to the sender. That would work in all the averas of the Torah, like Shabbos, Avodah Zarah, but not for an avera that is hana, like arayis and chelav, because we never found anywhere where a person benefits and enjoys an avera and somebody else pays for it. So there's a sheet in the Gemara that according to Beis Hillel, if somebody sends 3 people to be mekadesh a woman, they cannot be eidim. So this is a sugya of shliach nasa eid, meaning, can an agent who brings Kiddushin to be mekadesh a woman, could he flip into an aid and testify, yes, this woman received Kiddushin. Yes, this malva was paid back by who? By myself. Could a shliach become an aid? There's another shita in Beis Hillel that says no, that a shliach could become an aid. The bottom line is, we paskin shliach nasa aid. We know that Beis Hillel, we always paskin like a Beis Hillel. So either way you cut it, we're going to have to say that Beis Hillel hold shliach nasa aid, and they said shliach nasa aid, and Rav also, who's obviously not going to argue on Beis Hillel ever, also holds shliach nasa aid. Me'ikir adin, the same halacha applies in Kiddushin, that a shliach becomes an aid, and the same halacha would apply by mamanis, by a loiv and a malva. But at the end of the day, there's a new concept that we haven't had in a while called shvuas hases, and that is, in addition to the regular shvuah, when a person admits to a partial claim, he has to make a shvuah. Chacham Musakin, even if he denies the entire claim, he has to make a shvuas eses. Therefore, an agent who brings money to a malva, and he says, and later on testifies that he gave it to the malva, we don't believe him because he's biased. Because if he would say that he gave it back to the loiva will invoke the shvuas eses. And now a person doesn't want to make a shvua. He might be a ganav, but he never wants to make a shvua. He'll always say that he gave it to the malva, and the malva cannot invoke the shvuas eses. Therefore, he's biased, and now we don't trust him. Derech Hagav, Rashi says this comes from the halacha of chen v'ni al pen kasei, and that is a storekeeper sometimes extends credit. So if an employer tells a store owner, "I want you to give my employees credit. That's how I'm going to pay them the salary." The store owner says, "I gave them credit." The employees say, "We never received it." So each one says to the other one, "I have nothing to do with you. The one that owes me is the boss." So they go to the boss. Both of them make a shvua. The store owner and the employees make a shvua, and the boss has to pay both of them. So that would be the same idea by us, that the agents have to make a shvua, and at the end of the day, the loiva would have to pay. Chachamim hold by a get of a naira amurasa, and that is, if there's a girl who's either a ktana, and even a naira who's between 12 and 12 and a half, and she's only engaged, not completely married, the first stage of marriage, naira amurasa. So Chacham holds she could receive her get, in addition to her father receiving the get for her. Even though she's in her father's domain, she could still receive her get. Rish Lakish takes that a step further, and he says, just like we say that she could receive a get, she could also receive her Kiddushin, because Kiddushin and Gittin are the same. V'yatzav ha'haisa, whatever you do by get, you do by Kiddushin. Whatever you do by Kiddushin, you do by get. But according to Rabbi Yochanan, no, there's a distinction between Gittin and Kiddushin. That by Kiddushin, Chacham will agree that only the father could accept the Kiddushin. Why? Because this Kiddushin takes her out of the father's domain, and he doesn't allow the daughter to receive the Kiddushin. There's another halach in the Gemara, that any girl who's that young, who keeps on going back to her husband after a divorce, you can't divorce her. It's mishalcha ve'ein chayzeres. You have to give her a get, and she doesn't come back. If she comes back, it's not a good get. Taisus hold that if the father is able to prevent her from coming back, that's considered mishalcha ve'ein chayzeres, and it does work. Rabbi Isai, have a wonderful day.